What's going on, everybody? Lauren with the Team Up Podcast, and we're going to go over a swing trade that I made today that we're going to see if it pays out in my favor. I'm going to go over why I chose to do this swing trade and what I hope to see happen tomorrow with it. But first, like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the dinger. Sometimes I have a hard time doing these in one take. Bear with me. I'm going to hit the intro, and we'll be right back. All right, so let's start off by saying it's been earnings for like the last 2 weeks. This week has earnings call as well. And what I did is I pulled up this website here. I'm going to pop it up, and it is earningswhispers.com. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to stocks when you first pull it up so you can see what exactly it is that we're looking at here. All right. And we look at what's happening, right? So we want to look at the earnings whisper plays. They got some short-term stuff. They got all kinds of stuff here. So what I'm looking at is what the earnings calls were today after close and what the ones are before market open tomorrow. So I scrolled down this list and I came across a couple that intrigued me. The first one was they have a sort pattern here. This is for tomorrow of growth, right? This middle is basically the expected growth year over year on the quarter. And as you scroll down, you see some of these that are pretty high, 144%. You see some that are low, taking a hit. You got 330%. And I was scrolling down this list today, and I ran across ticker symbol LIND, and it stuck out to me because 3,919.6% expected growth. So I'm like, let's find out more about this. So we click on it. Get off of here. All right, let's just click that. Gives us a little bit about the company. Short-term price up, investor sentiment up, intermediate term price, long-term price. Shows us the previous growth, description of the company, right? So I'm like, man, 3,900% expected. That's insane. How do they come up with that number? Well, then I was like, well, let's look at the chart, right? So I had the daily chart pulled up, and I was like, all right, we've just kind of been in this big cup and handle pattern. The stock's really only ever hit $21, right? As far as I can tell here, in a while, right? Long time. So since 2013, its highest price, $21. Big dip, big rise, dip. It's bounced back up. It had a nice big green candle today. This candle here spiked realistically over our resistance line, where it's been kind of bouncing off of, and going into earnings with an expected growth 4,000%. How can you not take a little gamble? So I looked at the options contracts and I was like, $15 strikes, percent change. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at these bad boys. And my only problem that we might run into is liquidity. So the stock doesn't have a whole lot of options trading happening. There's not a whole lot of buyers and sellers of contracts right now, especially at this $15 strike. So the break even 16.25. We're looking for LIND to break 16.25 tomorrow, which would put my contracts in the money, which would be phenomenal. So then I was like, all right, well, let's have a look over here to options calculator and see where it needs to be. So let's pull it up here, LIND. So I'm thinking, man, even if they just do a little bit better than they're doing now, like 4,000% is crazy. So maybe they just have super high expectations. But we're going to go up here. We're going to put this in entry price around that price, sure. And we'll just put one. It doesn't matter how many contracts you buy. So then I'm looking here at this. Let's put the implied volatility at close, which was 64%, which is higher than it was all day, honestly. At close, that was the implied volatility. And let's give it some room to breathe as well. And let's just hope that maybe we get a move upwards of $18. Now, some of this might seem kind of crazy because it's not trading that high. But if it does anywhere near its expected gain, there's no reason this thing doesn't see a $2 move. $2 is not that high. So I'm like, all right, well, let's look at our price point here. We're kind of in the, well, we're kind of right at even. If this sucker tomorrow opens up anywhere over $16, we're anywhere between 61 and 140% hits. And if it opens at $18, you're at 200% hit, damn near. So the options expire on the 19th. We've got a lot of time on them. The time decay is not bad. So the worst case I thought is we put a good chunk into it and it doesn't move much, right? It's big downward movement days aren't even that far. They're like 30, 40 cents. So it won't really nuke the option. It's not like playing an earnings contract on a Thursday that expires Friday. Super risky. This is a lot safer than that. So I threw it into here thinking, you know what? Maybe we see a movement that's 2, 3%, 4%, 5%, maybe even 10%. 10% would be a $1.50 move, which would put us at $17. And when we look at here, $17 is 119% hit. So I played LIND. They are a nautical company, basically maritime. They I guess work maybe with cruise ships and giving people excursions and different trips and stuff. So I'm really curious to see how this went. I mean, we know cruise lines suffered a good bit last year. Maybe we see a big bounce. It's a complete YOLO play based off my own analysis of what the stock could potentially do in a pretty short term time. The RSI is a little bit high. The MACD on the daily, let's zoom in on that bad boy. That golden cross happening on the daily could turn this thing into a big runner, right? We could see this MACD crossover and we could get 2 or 3 days of upside potential, which again, right here, even if it takes 2 or 3 days, you're not really going to lose out. So for me, I thought this trade was going to be kind of a no-brainer. I did take some 17.5 calls as well. They were like 25 cents a contract, also expiring on the 19th. So even if those go up, we can pull up that one just for fun right here. Let's pull up the 17.5s and calculate that. I don't know what their volatility it might be, a little bit more volatile because of the 63%. So not too much different. It may have been because it's so farther away, but still look at the gain. 17, that's 371% hit if this thing hits $17 tomorrow. Insane, right? It'll be worth freaking that. You know, those 5 calls will be worth $500, and you spend $75. So keep that in mind. We're gonna hope. I'm trying not to play these huge YOLO ones, but we're gonna see where it opens. I look forward to doing this one. Their earnings is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So before market open, we're gonna see something happen. Wish me luck. All you guys out there investing, good luck to you. If you want to learn more, follow Team Bull Trading. I'm a part of that group. They do a great job. There's also links for WEBULL and Robinhood in the description of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.